Hey guys, I'm Peyton Krause, and I'm going to tell you about fan perspective at the Ryder Cup. I was home this weekend in Minnesota watching the Ryder Cup. I got to see all the players walk through. It was my first big golf tournament, and so I walked in not expecting anything, and I was overwhelmed. I was in awe as soon as I walked in the gates. It's crazy. They've built stands and they've built entire buildings just for the tournament. You walk through and you see all the different holes and the thousands of people just decked out in America-themed gear. It's a crazy tournament with America versus Europe, so people are pumped and people are crazy and having a good time. We walked in and sat at a hole for a while. When you're actually there, you kind of sit and want to watch everyone go through a hole, but you got to get there early in order to actually see them all. So you kind of miss a couple holes in the beginning, but it's really exciting to get to see them up close and personal making their final putts.
And Peyton, I'm going to hold you there. I think the best perspective is definitely watching on TV. Like you said, you miss holes on TV. TVs can't miss a hole, so you have to watch it on TV. You see every group. You can see the entirety of their rounds. Also, you can see a lot of the different fan reactions, player reactions. Although I have been to my fair share of golf tournaments myself, including majors, and being a fan at certain points is better than watching on TV. I think early in the rounds, it's better to watch it on TV because it's better to watch it as a fan because you get to see everybody before they get cut in the actual tournament. Obviously, Ryder Cup is different because everyone's playing at different times. And then for later on in the tournament, you want to watch it on TV because you'll see all the winners and you'll be able to watch all the rounds and you won't miss anything.
Nick, you've got a good point, but I think you may miss a couple holes, but what you get when you're there is you don't miss the personalities of the golfers. On TV, you don't see them bringing their families and their friends and those awesome reactions before they're making those putts and before they have the big hits. We had Stenson right next to us. He had to chip over us after hitting into the rough, and it was pretty cool to just see him joke around with the fans. And you don't get that when you're watching TV. You don't see that these are real people standing next to you.
And the Ryder Cup is different because it's the end of the golf season, so they're not really playing for much of anything. They're not playing for money. Nothing. Ryder Cup is just for fun. It's the European golfers, the American golfers, they're all friends. They play with each other on the same tour, so they're all friends and they're just playing for the fun of the game and they're playing for their countries and to represent their countries. So it's a lot more fun. And usually golfers when they're in majors or in other tournaments, they're kind of focused on winning and they're not really focused on the fan aspect of it. Where in the Ryder Cup, it's all about the fan emotions, feeding off the fan emotions. We saw a lot of time the American golfers singing the national anthem off the greens with the fans, and a lot of the American fans being vulgar at the European players. So it's a lot different atmosphere because you get to see a different side of golfers because it's more of a fun atmosphere. Where a major, they're all serious, and during a practice round or during an actual playing round, they won't sign autographs. They won't really even acknowledge you as a fan. So it's just a completely different perspective, and that's kind of because of the time of the year.
Definitely, I think the atmosphere of the Ryder Cup is really cool. When you're there, you get to see them just have a good time, and you get to see the fans have a good time too. They've been cheering them on all year, and so it's kind of finally they're all together, and they're not just cheering for their favorite player, but they're cheering for the whole team together, which is a really cool way to see sports fans play out with their chanting for their teams, and it's just a really cool sight to see everyone come together for it.